So what do you think it actually is? Are there sort of UFO spaceships coming here to visit us? Or what do you think?
There are structured craft of unknown origin whizzing around with impunity in our airspace. And that any government official, most of them know that, when I say government official, most of the military people know that this is probably the case. But there's so much stuff they don't know that for them to come forward and disclose what they do know would open up a can of worms. Would open up a can of worms. Would open up a can of worms. There are structured craft of unknown origin.
Hi guys, thank you for joining me back here again on the 401 Files. My name is Ben. It's an absolute pleasure of mine to be able to bring you guys along with me for these videos. Hopefully you will enjoy this one today. I'm back out here again on the North Yorkshire Moors, which is a very big hotspot for things like UFO sightings, strange cryptids like the UK Wildman, and many other things, even alien abduction as well. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this. I know that a lot of you are unable to get out into these locations yourself personally, and do really enjoy seeing me get out here talking about these weird and wonderful things. So hopefully you'll enjoy this. Like I said, while you're here, please do give this one a thumbs up. Drop down in that comments box below, leave me a comment, because it's always lovely and a pleasure of mine to be able to talk to you guys about things happening in your life as well. Sit back guys, relax and enjoy. I'm never under any illusion that I could be spending a large chunk of my time chasing down shadows here on the moors and never really find any true answers. I don't think for one second that it will be me who provides the smoking gun or brings disclosure to the world. But if I can at least present these subjects in a way that is logical and a way that leaves the viewer asking more questions, then I at least think I've contributed in some small way. And for me, that in itself is a part of the excitement. In a world where almost everything has become factual or scientifically proven, it's still nice that we have mysteries and challenges that defy our basic understanding. Okay, so this is something that I want to start doing in parts of my videos. I want to start answering subscribers' questions, because a lot of you do leave me comments, questions below, and I never really seem to reply on video to you guys. So I'm starting to make a list and save those questions now, so that when I'm out here I can pull them up on my phone and reply to as many of you as I can. Now, I'm only going to be able to reply to one question per video, but I will work my way through them. And this one comes from Ryan Smith. Ryan asks if the Bigfoot community and the extraterrestrial community are different. And unfortunately, Ryan, I would have to say, in my own personal opinion, they are different, but different in the way that they don't seem to get along. And I'm not sure why this is, but if you start talking to the Bigfoot community about extraterrestrials, and this is only my personal experience, and not everybody within the Bigfoot community is the same. For example, Justin at Mountain Beast Mysteries, he will entertain many different fractions and possibilities as to what Bigfoot could be, and I will do the same with the extraterrestrial phenomenon. But what I'm saying is that the large majority of the Bigfoot community won't get on board with anything to do with extraterrestrials. And it's the same with the extraterrestrial and alien community as well. They won't entertain the idea that an alien could be hairy like Bigfoot. Not everybody, please don't think I'm saying everybody, but the mass majority of people in those two different communities don't seem to see eye to eye. So yes, I would say that they are different. I wish that wasn't the case. I wish we could all band together and try and make sense of what people are seeing and what is visiting Earth, because there clearly is something visiting Earth, and that something probably does come in many different shapes, sizes and forms. Hopefully I've answered your question, Ryan, and just to summarize, they aren't the same, they're very different. They believe what they believe strongly, and it's very difficult for each side to band together and come to some kind of a mutual agreement. Wish it wasn't the case, but it is, in my experience, my own personal experience.
I feel like on its own, if you just covered this 1966 Westall case, which was 200 witnesses in broad daylight, it's an amazing case, then people would say, yeah, I don't believe that actually happened. But if you start seeing a pattern, and you cover cases in South America, cases in Africa, cases in the United States that I'm doing, and you start to build your case, then I think it becomes much more digestible to mainstream, and that's what I'm trying to do with my film.
So why are you so passionate about it? Why is it something that you have invested clearly your life's work in?
Okay, well, I'll answer that with a question to you guys. If Earth was being visited, just suspend judgment, would you consider that a significant discovery?
Absolutely.
It's quite a windy day today, guys. So I do apologise if you're getting all the backdraft or the back noise of that wind coming through the microphone. It started off raining this morning when I woke up, heavy rain. On my journey down here, it started to look like a summer's day, and now the sky is turning dark as if there's going to be a storm. So hopefully that passes and doesn't come to be. But yeah, it's been a bit of a mixed bag of a day today with the weather. So as soon as I find an opening into this woodland here, I'm going to push straight in, get set down and talk to you guys about a few things that I've been thinking about recently, and hopefully be able to blow your mind. Blow your mind! Watch the tripod. Watch the tripod, you. Watch the tripod. Right, go play, go. Yeah, sorry. I was watching a programme the other day, and it was about this guy called Chris Hall. Chris Hall basically murdered his wife, his 2 young daughters, and his unborn son. And in this programme, it was showing you a part where Chris had been asked to take a lie detector test, like a polygraph test. And before he sat down to take the polygraph test, the lady conducting the test basically said to him, look, I've got this qualification, I've got that qualification, I've been to the highest school, I've trained in this area, I've done it for such and such years. And if you are lying, Chris, then this test will be able to tell. There is no two ways about it. This test, this polygraph test that you're about to sit, if you are lying, it would be very, very stupid, because right now there's only one of us in this room that knows who's telling the truth. And after this test, we'll both know. And that's what she said, and it blew me away because, and, sorry, just to add another point to that, is that when it went to court, the polygraph test actually played a big, big part in convicting Chris of the charges that he was accused of. And that made me think, because, I mean, we've got Travis Walton and 6 of his friends, 7 of his friends doing polygraph tests. And some of you might say, yeah, well, the tests that they did were really dated and they were like the first of the kind. But I'm talking recently, like a lot of these guys have recently done polygraph tests, like state-of-the-art tests, and still come back with the same conclusion, that they did see what they say they saw. And yet still people deny it. People still deny it. Weird. Like, if you're a murderer, if you're convicted of killing people, a polygraph test holds a lot of weight. And as this woman said, it's pretty much conclusive that what the polygraph is saying you're lying about, you're lying about. Or what it's saying that you're telling the truth about, you're telling the truth about. But when it comes to the UFO phenomena and abductions and people claiming that these weird things have happened to them, and they sit tests and they pass the tests, all of a sudden they're not so conclusive. People don't want to believe, and there's always room for error. But yeah, just made me laugh a little bit. Not laugh, because obviously it was a touchy subject that I was watching, but it made me think about how sometimes it can be one rule for one and not the other.
One of the biggest problems that we face in all these fields of thought-provoking topics, whether it be Bigfoot, UFOs, extraterrestrials, the paranormal, whatever it may be, the biggest thing that we face is that not all pieces of footage are genuine. In fact, only a very few are. And because of this, what happens is debunkers pick out a piece of footage that is clearly flawed and has clearly got many holes in it. And they jump all over that piece of footage and then conclude that the rest must also be fake as well. A great example of this would be the BBC. The BBC did an interview with a lady who had claimed to have seen a UFO hovering above her house. They also did an interview in the same segment with a guy that claimed to fake crop circles. Now, because the guy was openly admitting to faking these crop circles, and crop circles are closely connected to the UFO phenomena, the article then concluded that the lady must somehow be crazy and making the whole thing up. It's unfortunately a very sad reality that this is how things have become. It's also very unscientific as well. I really do hope that this mindset will change moving forward into the future.
I've spoke about this before actually on the channel when I've been out. Just how weird the mind is, like how bizarre, how random the mind is when you're in places like this and you have plenty of time on your own to think, or not think, just let your mind do the thinking and see what comes to light. One of the things I've just started saying in my mind for no reason whatsoever, it's not like I've seen a video of this recently, it's not like I've seen the guy in an interview recently on YouTube or saw a poster, nothing. Just walking past these trees and this came into my head and I've been saying it over and over repeatedly, and it's, I'm gonna show you how great I am. See if you can guess who that is. I'm gonna show you how great I am. Well, I'll let you know who that is for anyone that's guessing. It's Muhammad Ali, but I have no idea why that came into my mind. Like I said, there's no reason it should have done, but when you're out in these places, that's what happens. Weird things just pop into your mind without you even anticipating it. Always makes me laugh because I just walk on ahead thinking, what the hell? Where did that come from? That's weird. So here's something that I wanted to speak to you guys about because this has fascinated me for many, many years. I've been a huge fan of the journey to Mars ever since I became aware of who Elon Musk was and what the ambitions of SpaceX were. It's always fascinated me that one day we could have humans on Mars, on the red planet. And I was listening recently to a podcast called The Unexplained by Howard Hughes, and they had a guest on there that was, I think, an astronaut, or he worked alongside astronauts. And they got into the subject of the journey to the red planet, what that will entail and what to expect. And I've thought about this for a long time, and even I had my mind blown and my eyes open to certain aspects that I didn't even consider before. This guy was saying that going off the current deadlines that we've set ourselves to land on the red planet, there is an 8-year-old child somewhere out there right now in school, sat behind a desk, learning calculus, English, science, whatever it may be. Going off the current deadlines, there is an 8-year-old child still at school that will be the first boy or girl to land on Mars. That in itself is a crazy thought, because that means that I will experience that in my lifetime, hopefully, God willing. But then he went on to talk about the journey to Mars and what that entails, the mental struggles and the mental games that will play on the human body. He was saying that if you're on the moon, it takes 3 days to get there, and there's a communication delay of 1.3 seconds. So if shit hits the fan, the soonest that we can get help to you is in 3 days. If you send an SOS out, the quickest we can reply to you is 1.3 seconds. If you're on Mars, however, it takes 7 months to reach the red planet. There's a communication delay of 22 minutes. Now, if you imagine that what you've said in your message back to Earth, to the control center, wherever that may be, whatever you've said gets misinterpreted, taken the wrong way, you've got to wait 22 minutes for a wrong answer. It's a very stressful thing to be under. It's a very stressful time if shit's going wrong. 22 minutes is a long time to get a reply. 7 months is a hell of a long time to receive help of any kind. And that might not even be possible because it takes 3 years for the red planet and Earth to align. 3 years. So it's not like we can just send rocket after rocket after rocket towards Mars in the hopes of landing on there and helping you out, we can't do that because we have to wait. There's a 3-year window of opportunity for us to be able to launch the rockets to do that. Now, if you consider as well that 50% of everything that we've ever tried to land on Mars has failed, then it becomes even a more grim reality that help is on its way to you, because 3-year window to land, to set off, 50% of everything we've ever tried to land on the red planet has failed. That means that if we have 5 failed attempts, we aren't seeing you for 15 years. That is a very scary thought. You're on your own. It doesn't matter what's happened on Mars, whether you receive a message saying that your wife has died, your children have died, or if you're just gravely ill and you need to get off that planet and back home, it's not happening. You're going to have to be so mentally strong and detached in many ways from those kind of things that you're able to pull through and cope, because, like I said, help isn't on its way for a very long time. Even if we did get a rocket launched in that window of opportunity, we're not seeing you for 7 months. If we missed the opportunity because we've had a few failed attempts that didn't land, then it could be 15 years if we have 5 failed attempts. That's not a lot. 5 failed attempts is not a lot. We've seen SpaceX and how many rockets they've lost through trial and error. Scary and ambitious mission is heading to Mars, and I'll be interested in knowing what you guys think. I'm super excited about that. I'm super excited that there are fellow human beings here on Earth that are willing to push the envelope and become pioneers. And the funny thing is that those people are 8 years old right now. They probably don't even know it's going to be them. Fascinating.
Have any targets up here? We just had something go right over the top of us that, I hate to say this, looked like a long cylindrical object. It almost looked like a cruise missile type of thing moving really fast that went right over the top of us. Have any targets up here? We just had something go right over the top of us. I hate to say this, looked like a long cylindrical object. It almost looked like a cruise missile type of thing moving really fast that went right over the top of us.
Now, what's interesting about this, American Airlines confirmed that audio is authentic and then referred all media questions to the FBI. Erica, what's going on here? What did he see?
What did he see? And then, yeah, I'd be interested to know. It couldn't have been a missile. I think I was reading it couldn't have been, but I don't know.
Close to Roswell this happened, so you never know when you get close to Roswell what might be up there.